It all began with a quiet boy holding a paintbrush. Before the dazzling lights, red carpets, and screaming fans, Xiao Zhan, now one of China's most beloved stars, was just an ordinary art student who had never dreamed of becoming a celebrity. But fate had other plans, and his journey to global stardom is nothing short of a cinematic masterpiece. Today, for the very first time, Xiao Zhan opens up in an emotional and jaw-dropping interview, revealing the raw truth behind his rise to fame, the pain, the passion, and the moments that nearly broke him. Xiao Zhan wasn't born into stardom. In fact, growing up in Chongqing, he was shy, artistic, and soft-spoken. He spent hours sketching, photographing nature, and quietly observing the world. He enrolled at the Modern International Art Design Academy at Chongqing Technology and Business University, intending to become a graphic designer. But one day, his life took a sudden and unexpected turn. "I never thought I'd be in front of the camera," he says with a smile. "I always saw myself behind the scenes, editing, drawing, creating silently." Then, in 2015, Xiao Zhan was dragged by his friends to audition for a reality talent show called X-Fire. "I was terrified. I had no idea what I was doing. I sang terribly during the audition," he admits, laughing. But something magical happened. The producers saw something in him. It wasn't his technique, it was his soul. His sincerity. His raw, unpolished charm. He was accepted. After months of grueling training, sweat, and endless days of self-doubt, Xiao Zhan debuted with the boy group X9 in 2016. Those days were hard. We'd train until 4 a.m., sometimes sleeping on the dance floor. But this wasn't the fairy tale rise most people imagine. The group struggled with exposure. Xiao Zhan, despite his good looks, wasn't the frontrunner. He was often in the background, smiling quietly. He reveals a chilling memory. "One night, I overheard someone say I wasn't star material. That I was just a pretty face with no edge. I cried in the bathroom stall alone that night. I wanted to quit. But he didn't. He poured every ounce of himself into improving vocals, acting, dancing. He stayed behind after practice, perfecting what others brushed off. He believed that one day, someone would see him." It wasn't until 2019 that the storm finally broke. Xiao Zhan landed the role of Wei Wuxian in the fantasy drama The Untamed alongside actor Wang Yibo. Initially, fans were skeptical. Xiao Zhan was relatively unknown, and some critics doubted he could carry such a complex role. But what followed shocked the entire industry. From the first scene, people saw something different, a drama critic said. Xiao Zhan didn't play Wei Wuxian. He became him. Within weeks, The Untamed went viral across Asia. Xiao Zhan's performance was haunting, emotional, unforgettable. Social media exploded. Fans began calling him the nation's sweetheart. His Weibo followers skyrocketed. He went from walking anonymously in malls to being chased by thousands at airports overnight. It was surreal. "One day I was taking the subway. The next, I couldn't walk 10 feet without security." But at the height of his fame, disaster struck. In early 2020, Xiao Zhan was caught in the middle of the infamous 227 incident. A fanfiction post on the website Archive of Our Own triggered massive backlash, and some fans who supported him were blamed for the site being blocked in China. The internet turned on him. He lost major brand endorsements. Projects were paused. He was cyberbullied on a scale the world had never seen. "That was the darkest time of my life," Xiao Zhan says, his voice trembling. "I didn't leave my apartment for weeks. I stopped talking to people. I thought everything was over." He was alone. Betrayed by the very machine that built him. But he didn't give up. He disappeared from the public eye not to hide, but to heal. He went back to painting. He started therapy. He spent time with his family. He wrote songs that no one heard. Yet, months later, without warning, Xiao Zhan came back stronger than ever. He released the song Spotlight, a powerful anthem that shattered records. It sold over 25 million copies in 24 hours, breaking Guinness World Records. "That song was my way of saying, I'm still here. You couldn't break me." Then came his lead role in The Oath of Love with Yang Zi, followed by The Longest Promise, both massive hits. Brands lined up to work with him again. He became the face of Gucci, Tod's, Estée Lauder, and more. But this time, he wasn't just a star. He was a symbol of resilience. Despite his glittering career, Zhan remains humble. In this rare interview, he takes us into his childhood home where he shows us an old dusty camera, his first sketchbook, and the corner of his room where he used to dream. This, he says, pointing to a crumpled painting, is where it all started. Before the fame. Before the noise. We also learn something shocking. Zhan writes poetry. Sometimes I can't say what I feel, so I write it. One day, maybe I'll publish it. He then reads one of his unpublished poems aloud about loneliness, fame, and healing. It leaves the crew in tears. In another unexpected twist, we uncover a hidden side of Zhan, one that even most fans don't know. He has been quietly donating to schools in rural China for years, under different names. Funding art programs. Rebuilding libraries. Supporting children with disabilities. I don't do it for publicity. I do it because I was once a kid with a dream. He also sponsors therapy programs for youth affected by cyberbullying. No one deserves to suffer in silence. Not for being themselves. Today, Zhan stands as not just a singer, actor, or performer, but a movement. He is working on a new international film project, rumored to be co-produced in Hollywood. His fanbase, known as John G's Light, spans across the globe from China to the US, Nigeria to Brazil. He's also planning to release a memoir in 2026, detailing his rise, fall, and rebirth. As the interview ends, Zhan leaves us with a message that will echo in hearts long after the camera stops rolling. To anyone chasing a dream, you don't have to be the best. You just have to be brave. That's all I ever did, I kept going. And maybe that's the secret to Zhan's success. Not talent alone. Not luck. But the courage to rise after every fall. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exclusive stories of your favorite stars.